This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome University of Tennessee Martin wide receiver Marqwell Odom. What's up, bro?
What's going on, my man?
Where they can find you on social media platform?
Instagram is Quail__. Twitter is Quail_13. No Snapchat, no Facebook.
Okay, that's cool, man. So, explain to me like a story where you started playing football as a kid.
Yeah, man. Started playing when I was 5. Organized football when I was 5. Just a passion. The passion came from watching my brothers play. Every time they were out in the field, I got experience with playing with older and better guys. So that's where the talent came from.
Oh man, siblings do play a factor sometimes because you play those backyard footballs with them or all that stuff. I remember growing up as a kid, that would be like another reason. Play with my cousins, play with my brothers, like the good old days, you know?
Most definitely, man. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. That's it, and it helped me where I am today, man.
Okay, so coming out of high school, was there any other schools recruiting you, or did you have to work the JUCO route?
Yeah, I had to do the JUCO route, man. A lot of interest from a lot of schools, but nobody ever really wanted to take a chance. I'm not sure why. Maybe it had something to do with the size or me just playing multiple positions. Nobody really knew where I was going. So I took the JUCO route, like you said, and went to Indy, man.
Okay, so you had to work that JUCO route, and then what eventually got you to Tennessee Martin at that point?
Really just like I said, Jason Brown recruited me out of high school. He took a shot on me when nobody else would. So I got there. A lot of guys, I kind of separated myself, not just based off of my talent, because there was a lot of talent there when I got there, but just doing the right things, going to class, not doing JUCO stuff. And man, Jason Simpson from UT Martin, he just gave me an opportunity. He seen that I was from Tennessee. I had a set position now at Indy. I was also doing punt return and kick return, so I was just kind of able to stand out at junior college.
Oh, that's cool. Was there any other NFL player that you model your game after?
Yeah, I watch Cole Beasley a lot, man. Just his route running, his knowledge of the game. Cole Beasley is definitely my favorite. And then McCole Hardman, kind of two different guys, but Cole Beasley, just knowledge of the game, and then McCole Hardman, ability to just separate from the finish, route running wise in the slot is my comparison.
Yeah, Cole Beasley is a short receiver, but he does have that good separation. Then you just talked about Miko Hardman. He just has that speed, but he can definitely separate. So that's a good way to look at your game. But as far as like a return man, was that something that you were excelling at, or they just asked you to do that?
So my freshman year at Indy, just in need of in the position, honestly. Just somebody that could at least just fill the balls. So it wasn't nothing special. Freshman year was just fielding the balls, like I said. But sophomore year at Indy, that's when it started to pick up a lot more. Never did take any to the house at Indy, but I definitely got into Hutchinson red zone with a good punt return.
Okay, but at least you kind of perfected as a return and be like somebody that they can depend on. Like if anybody needs to return kicks, you're the guy to do it. So I mean,
Most
that's all that
definitely.
matters.
Yes, sir.
So speaking of like of other like what was your career best at Tennessee Martin?
It was definitely this past season. I can't tell you my stats right off back, but uh, I think all our receivers made our conference. I just got honorable mention, but I can say that I was probably like the leader, the voice in the room. Um, and yeah, it was definitely this past season. We finished 10-3, so it was a successful year for me and also for the program.
Yeah, it's good that you guys won 10 games, but was there any bowl games that you played at or anything like that when you finished 10 win season?
So we have finished at 9 in the regular season. And at the FCS level, so there's the playoffs. There is a no bowl games. It's just you jump into the playoffs. Um, we jumped in, went to Missouri State. Um, I think we had the better record at the time, but they still sent us there. And we pulled off a 35-34 win. And then we went to Montana State and got beat up pretty bad. I think it ended up 24-7. But they ended up playing in the FCS National Championship game, losing to North Dakota State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, North Dakota State, I guess that conference you're mentioning about same college as Trey Lance and a lot of other players who've came from that
Yes, sir.
conference. But what's the difference between playing in that conference that you play in compared to the other conference?
Um, FCS ball and FBS ball. I never did get the chance to play FBS ball, but from just watching it on TV, and then my first year at Martin, we actually went to go play at Florida. So the thing that I can take away from it was just size. They were just a lot bigger, definitely up front. Um, and then there was some like athleticism advantages for Florida. They had a lot. They had a lot of speed. Definitely for those guys to be that big, but I definitely think that's the difference.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of one guy, he's wondering what position you play.
I play slot receiver. I do a little bit of punt return and kick return as well.
Okay, yeah, because you've been doing slot receiver at Tennessee Martin for a while, but then in JUCO too, right?
Yes, sir. Correct. I started playing receiver my senior year of high school.
Yeah. So, what's the difference between going to JUCO and then playing at the university college program? Was it just more of a grind, or was it kind of like a lot difficult than most people are expecting?
So yeah, like you said, JUCO is definitely a grind. I think when I got there, it's like 170 players that was like coming out to try out for the team. But that's just for the head coach or the position coaches to cut whatever they don't want. So when I first got there, it was a struggle. I knew it was a lot of athletic guys that I was gonna have to try to jump in front of and do all the correct things to see the field. But yeah, it was definitely a struggle, man.
Yeah,
Once I
JUCO.
got to once I got to University of Tennessee at Martin, it was a big difference. Cat food was great. Wait, facilities was great. Um, it was just it's a big difference, man.
Okay, so JUCO is definitely a grind. Yeah, I can speak by experience because I did go to JUCO for trying out for football team at one point in Fresno City
Okay,
College. It's a tough program, but yeah, they do some cuts, and it's not easy.
most
If you're that good,
it's
you're good.
not
You're good.
most definitely.
So, what was it like just like going to Tennessee Martin? So, like you said, the facility and everything's great, but why should like any other student should be going to that program?
So I can definitely speak on the football and not really much other sports because that's all I did there. But I know with Jason Simpson when I don't see him leaving that program anytime soon, man. That's his home. That's where his kids are from. One thing you're gonna get with him, he's gonna give you the real all the time. But he's a loving, caring guy. He's genuinely my favorite coach. I hate to say it because I had a lot of great coaches in the past, but he's my favorite because he's gonna make sure you're taken care of on and off the field for sure.
Okay, small college, but you guys had a winning season, so it's kind of like a good culture there. They're building some strong winning culture there, right?
Most definitely, yes, sir. We left the young guys with a lot of knowledge and leadership that the athleticism is already there. They can definitely repeat, but it's going to come down to the leaders.
So, what team did you grew up watching as a kid that you wanted to play for one day?
I've always been a Tennessee Titans fan. I'm from the Nashville, Murfreesboro area, so I've always been a Tennessee Titans fan, most definitely. And then college ball, I'm a Georgia guy all the way.
Okay, have you ever seen a lot of Steve McNair's films or nothing like that? Man, that dude was electrifying.
Most definitely. So when Steve McNair was there, I was about 4 or 5, so I was into football already. So every Sunday, I was definitely catching those games.
Oh, so you started playing football at the age of 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you do backyard football or did you just like do like everybody else would do? No, like backyard football. Oh, I
I don't
guess.
know.
So so as like a youngster, did you play a lot of backyard football as a receiver? Did you play some quarterback or defense or what was it like?
I don't know what's going on, my man. But I think I heard your question. As a youngster, man, I'll play whatever my brothers need me to play. Honestly, I didn't have no choice. A lot of time they wasn't leaving me on no island on defense, so I would be like a safety guy, and I'll pretty much be a running back. When we were on offense, wasn't really touching the ball, but when I did, somebody was gonna get something.
So was that a good transition from going to college after playing street ball with your family? Because in some ways, when you play that street ball, it gives you that mentality like you're a dog out there.
Most definitely, man. It definitely helped, but going to JUCO, it was a lot of guys that was doing the same thing with their older brothers, man. And you can definitely tell.
Yeah, JUCO's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. Like if you take that route, it's going to be a lot of hard work, and then you got to work also to get all that extra income and stuff like that to get to your next route or something.
Most definitely. And what a lot of people don't understand is JUCO talent. It's D1 athleticism, but it's just if somebody didn't have it academically, somebody didn't have it, just gonna keep their head straight. But some of the best athletes I done played with or against, it was definitely in JUCO.
Okay, that's interesting. So speaking of like training, what have you done lately to be prepared for the NFL draft?
Training wise, I'm actually been working with a personal trainer, an MGL trainer here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and then I'm actually supposed to be heading to Atlanta on the 18th, 19th to work out with what's his name, Quincy Avery and his guys. So hopefully I can get down there and work out with those guys, and that'll definitely help me get to the next level.
Okay, so what was like your best 40 time?
My best 40 time was actually when I had first got to Indy. I ran a 4.52. Um, Pro day was actually on the 29th, and it wasn't great. It was a 4.63. But
It's all about game speed.
yeah, most definitely. But I didn't prepare the way I should have. I was doing more strength training, trying to weigh in at a great weight instead of working on 40 times and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think most people kind of overlook the 40 time. It just depends on how you play the game speed. But speaking of an interesting question, who would you like to go up against in the NFL?
Who would I like to go up against? That's tough to say, man, because of course I always growing up Tyrann Mathieu. Um, he's a nickel safety type of guy. He's a hybrid, so I know he will definitely still be in that slot guard and slot receiver. So I would probably say him, and then Jalen Ramsey. He's a hometown guy, but he's usually gonna be guarding the number one receiver on the outside. So I don't know if I would ever see that matchup either.
Oh man, that's kind of a dream match. Tyrann Mathieu, he's pretty much versatile. He's undersized, but he definitely makes up for it. Then you got Jalen Ramsey. He's a lengthening corner, big mouth guy, but kind of backs it up on the field. That's some good dream matches right there. But speaking of it, like explain to me why all 32 teams should take a chance on you or draft you in general.
One thing about me, man, I'm a team first guy. I'm always gonna make sure, my players, teammates, coaches, whatever they need from me, that's what they're gonna get. I'm very, very humble, very genuine. Um, but other than that, man, on the field, um, I know about. I'm still learning. I'm not at the top of my game yet. I got a lot of learning I can do. Um, I'm still young. I'm a young guy, so my body's still growing. Um, I'm still strengthening. It's a lot of upside. My knowledge of the game is great as well, man. I know how to get active, get open, in that slot.
It's all about reaching the surface. Like you haven't scratched your potential yet. That's what the
Correct.
difference is. That's what makes it so dangerous about certain teams, man. If they take a chance on you, there's potential. They just got to give you a chance.
Most definitely, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So speaking of like reflecting on your Tennessee Martin career, how would you look back at it and see what you would take back from like coming from there?
Honestly, so when I first got to Martin, I was just always beat up, man. It was always something. Sprained ankle. That was actually the last day of fall camp going right into the season. So I didn't start playing until like week 4 or 5 of my junior year at Martin, which was the first year I got to Martin. Um, so yeah, man, really just I would have took care of my body more. I would have been in the ice tubs more, and I would have stayed healthy because I could have had a special year junior year as well.
Yeah, durability has been always an issue for certain players. So yeah, that's probably a good answer the way you look at it. Like, yeah, sometimes there's a lot of weakness and a lot of strength of your game, but what if you looked in your film that you want to work on that you've been lacking on that you want to improve consistently at?
I got you. Being able to create separation down the field. I know I'm a great route runner. I can create separation in the short to intermediate game, but being able to take the top off of a defense and really separate and be a deep threat is something that I want to do for sure.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. There's a lot more of your surface to improve on. Separation's the main aspect. Hey, definitely something that I can appreciate about you is honesty. And, that's one thing that goes a long ways. And if you crafted and perfected what you do training during the off season, so it should pay dividends at that point.
Most definitely, man. Yeah. So I mean, that's definitely the one of the top things that I'm working on going into hopefully the next season.
For sure. So speaking of it this way, before we end on a high note, I want to give you the introduction, and you can just tell the audience about everything else, and then I'm going to go on a flow, and then I want to wish you luck on your journey. But I'm going to give you the solo, so the floor is on you to give a thank you to the audience or me in general.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate everybody that has joined and gave us your time today. I also want to say thank you to all my coaches that's taking a chance on me and just giving me the opportunity to expand my game and make it to this point. So I appreciate y'all and keep watching bro videos. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man, and appreciate you being on the show. And I'm going to wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to definitely be rooting for you, man. Hopefully, you do play for your hometown Tennessee Titans, man. That'd be a dream come true for you.
Most definitely, man. Hopefully, but wherever I land, man, if I get the chance, I'm gonna enjoy it and be the best I can for that organization.
That's a good answer. That's what you need to do. Whoever takes a chance on you, they're going to get the best out of you. Get that blue chip on your shoulder and prove that you can have what it takes to make it.
Most definitely, I will for sure, man.
All right. So, everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, CG Ruthless Sports and Marqwell Odom is out. And see you guys later.
Appreciate you, bro.
No problem, bro.